we're learning new details about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's split from the royal family.
We knew they wanted to start a new chapter, and now the date is set.
Buckingham Palace says they'll officially be out of the royal family fold April 1st.
Today, Harry and Meghan announced their royal exit date, but they may be in the market for a new Instagram handle.
Today, the palace said using that word royal, it's a problem.
And oh yeah, Kate made the cover of People.
Welcome to the Royal Report. I'm your host, Sharon Carpenter. Now, please excuse our appearance today. Our new studio is getting some routine maintenance, but the show must go on, so here we are. And now, the news. Last week, Kate appeared in Northern Ireland, Scotland, and even on a podcast to promote her 5 Big Questions survey, but the Duchess wasn't done. On Tuesday, Kate took to Instagram to make a personal plea to UK residents, asking them to participate in the Early Childhood Initiative before the Friday deadline. What a great way to draw attention to a great cause. Kate's aforementioned appearance from last Saturday's Happy Mum, Happy Baby podcast is the focus of this week's People cover story. The 35-minute interview was rare and deeply personal. Topics included why she struggled during her pregnancies but loved giving birth, the mixed emotions of being a royal parent, and how feeling mum guilt all the time made her want to help others.
Do you struggle with mum guilt?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. And even this morning, going to the nursery visit here, George and Charlotte were like, Mummy, how could you possibly not be dropping us off at school this morning? But no, it's a constant challenge. You hear it time and time again from mums, even mums who aren't necessarily working and aren't pulled in the direction of having to juggle work life and family life.
Be sure to read the article and listen to the podcast. You will not be disappointed. On Tuesday evening, reports surfaced that Harry and Meghan's Sussex royal brand may be in for a name change. A royal source told People that, quote, use of the word royal in this context needed to be reviewed and that discussions are still ongoing. While Harry and Meghan's branding may be up in the air, on Wednesday we learned the Sussexes will be formally stepping down as senior royals next month. The spokesperson for the couple revealed that last month's new arrangement will officially begin on March 31st. As of April 1st, Harry and Meghan will no longer hold an office at Buckingham Palace and will instead be represented by their UK charity foundation team. The spokesperson also shared that Harry will remain 6th in the line of succession and that the Sussexes will formally retain their HRH status but will not actively use them. And finally, yesterday also marked the 60th birthday of the Duke of York. The royal family celebrated on Instagram by sharing a throwback photo of Prince Andrew as a baby. When Andrew arrived in 1960, he became the first child born to a reigning monarch in more than 100 years. And speaking of Prince Andrew, on Tuesday, People Senior Royals editor Michelle Tauber was here to give us updates on his daughter's upcoming wedding and his ongoing scandal. Take a look. All right, I'm here with People Senior Royals editor Michelle Tauber is with us. Michelle, always great to see you.
Always great to see you too, Sharon. Thank you.
Excited to chat. Now, recently, the palace announced that Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi will be married on May 29th. And People sources have confirmed that Beatrice's father, Prince Andrew, will be walking his 31-year-old daughter down the aisle. Michelle, what are your sources telling you about this decision? Was there ever any doubt here?
They're close. Andrew is close with both of his daughters, Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who he previously walked down the aisle, Eugenie. Yeah. So I don't think so much doubt. There was doubt about the date of the wedding. We were told by a source that it was pushed back twice because of Andrew's ongoing scandal, and also the fact that they had to scale down the size of the wedding as well because of that.
Got it. Okay. And ultimately, who really gets to make the decision as to whether Andrew will walk his daughter down the aisle or not? Or is this just between father and daughter? You said they're very close.
Yeah, they are very close. And ultimately, it would be between the two of them. However, we can't forget that this wedding is taking place at Buckingham Palace, otherwise known as Queen Elizabeth's home. So I think we can always expect the Queen, the boss, Granny, to have a weigh-in.
When you're under my roof.
That's right.
Right? Okay, now imagine the decision was made the other way around and Andrew wasn't walking Beatrice down the aisle. What kind of impact would that have? How would that look?
I think that would be a hard look, a tough look for Andrew, for the family. I mean, already he's dealing with having, essentially been demoted, stepped down from his sort of role as a leading royal. And so for him to not walk his daughter down the aisle on the biggest day of her life would clearly signal that the family was really trying to even further kind of shove him into the background.
Yeah.
That said, we have seen this once before. We did see at Meghan and Harry's wedding that, when we expected Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, to walk her down the aisle a week before, we learned that he was not going to be able to do that. And as we know, back then, Prince Charles walked Meghan down the aisle. I suppose he could do it again.
Why not?
Why not? He was good at it.
He was. He did it well.
He did.
Now, I do want to give a quick update on where the Prince Andrew scandal currently stands. Last November, after his rather awkward and at times tone-deaf BBC interview, Prince Andrew issued a statement saying he would be willing to help American law enforcement with their investigation of the sex trafficking allegations against Jeffrey Epstein. And the law has called upon him because US federal prosecutors have taken him up on his offer and they do want to interview him. What do we know about this, Michelle?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Interestingly, one of the U.S. federal prosecutors made an unusual move January, and gave a press conference in front of Jeffrey Epstein's, old apartment.
The Southern District of New York and the FBI have contacted Prince Andrew's attorneys and requested to interview Prince Andrew. And to date, Prince Andrew has provided zero cooperation.
Basically called out Andrew and said, we would like to speak with him, but so far we've had zero cooperation. Ouch. Which was a pretty, he was certainly called out for that, yeah.
What are your palace sources telling you about how Andrew or maybe even the palace itself are sort of receiving that statement?
It's hard to know right now because they are really keeping things buttoned up. And I think, there have been many, many meetings internally about how to continue to handle this. The overall sentiment, obviously, in the UK and in the US is not on Andrew's side. Yeah. So we'll have to see how they continue to handle it.
Do you expect Andrew to eventually cooperate with law enforcement? Could he be implicated if he does, and how bad could this be for him?
Yeah, well, I think, it's important to note that Andrew has not been charged with any crime. Could he be implicated in something? It's possible. The thing that legal experts have said is that they would counsel, if Andrew were their client, they would advise that he would plead the fifth if called to testify about this kind of thing, because there is always that possibility of criminal, implication and, getting yourself into even further hot water. So again, he hasn't been charged with anything, but many legal experts say they would advise that the less he says, the better.
Especially after the BBC interview,
right?
I would say,
right.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the victims, Epstein's victims, are calling for transparency here and calling for justice. And with Epstein dead, they're looking at, and so are federal prosecutors, who else, in a way to serve justice, who else may have been involved, and how can those people be held accountable?
Do you expect to see Andrew on US soil again? Is he going to come over here at any point?
My personal bet would be no. And he would probably be advised not to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you so much. Great reporting as always, and great to have you here in the flesh.
Thank you, Sharon.
We have to take a short break, but when we return, we'll be breaking down the best royal fashion from the past week. Stick around. Welcome back to the Royal Report. Joining us now, People Senior Style Editor Brittany Talarico is here. Brittany, awesome to see you as always.
Great to be here. Excited to be here.
I love the pop of silver you've got going on as well.
Thank you. I'm feeling festive today.
Now, before we dive in, let's have a quick recap of the best royal fashion this week. Last Wednesday, Kate stepped out in Northern Ireland to promote her new childhood development survey. She toured a farm while wearing a cornflower blue cashmere turtleneck from Pure Collection. That retails for about $175 with dark jeans and boots. She topped it with an olive jacket from Barber, which goes for $450. That same day, Kate headed to Scotland for an afternoon of engagements. She replaced her casual jacket with a more formal one from Reese that featured a fit and flare silhouette, love it, and front pockets. That sells for $555. Last Friday, Meghan shared this video on the Sussex Royal Instagram page from her time guest editing last September's British Vogue. The same day, it was announced as the fastest-selling issue in the magazine's history. Wow! She's wearing a black $120 jumpsuit from Everlane. More on that look in a few. And finally, this past Saturday, we saw a behind-the-scenes photo of Kate at the Happy Mom, Happy Baby podcast. She recorded it the same day she visited a London preschool and sported a cream wool sweater featuring a lace collar from Cezanne, which retails for $125. She paired that with dark jeans, ankle boots, and a gorgeous teal coat. Now, Brittany, I see a theme going on here this week. Pieces that you can really sort of mix and match that are really versatile. Let's start on Meghan's jumpsuit, the black jumpsuit. We've seen this before. Love it.
This Everlane jumpsuit. It's one of her favorites. She first wore it in Africa in September on her royal tour with Archie.
I remember that.
Yep,
yeah.
It's a great style. She was out, she was with kids, she was sitting and moving around. It's very easy to move around in. It's easy for new moms, I feel like. It was great for her body at the time. Like everything it's perfect. It's a great packing piece, so I'm happy she brought it there.
And it had a really different feel in Africa versus the Vogue video, right?
Yeah, it's totally different feel. She dressed it up a little bit in Africa with earrings, and you know, she was kind of more relaxed in the Vogue video, but it's something you can wear so many ways. You can wear it with sneakers and a denim jacket. You can dress it up for work with a blazer. It's one of these staple pieces.
Yeah, jumpsuits in general are just extremely versatile, aren't they? Easy to go from day to play.
Yes, day to play, desk to dance floor. We love it. It looks really great. And Everlane's a brand she loves, a sustainable brand. Again, an eco-conscious brand. So I think it's great to see her like re-wearing these pieces, and it's a staple for her.
So let's talk about Kate.
Yes.
In Northern Ireland and Scotland. She did a bit of a switch up with her outfit as well.
Yeah, she did on the same day, which I love to see. She wore a great green Barber jacket, more expensive for $450, but a jacket she wears and wear again, rewears, right? That's key. You spend more money on these pieces that you're gonna pull out of your closet often, right?
Yeah.
She teamed it with a really nice cashmere sweater, a cornflower blue, and a pair of boots that she's also worn. Were more pricey, $600, Penelope Shilver's boots. She was outdoors, she was interacting with people, and she just looked awesome. I thought the whole look was relatable and pieces that she'll wear again and again. So I kind of picture her wearing this look out with her kids, right? On the weekends too. We know how much she likes to spend time outside with her children. She said that in the podcast. So I think it was like a relatable mom on the go kind of look. She just looked great.
Let's talk about the cornflower blue turtleneck. I'm totally obsessed with it.
Yes.
This is a color you don't see very often. Is she starting a new trend here, do you think?
Yeah, I love seeing this color in winter too, right? Yeah. It's a more spring kind of forward color, springtime color. But I love that she pulled this out. It's a beautiful cashmere sweater from Pure Collection. And I think it's fun to see her kind of wear these more springy colors, mix things up from her closet. She looked confident and comfortable. I loved the whole look. And then she transitioned that turtleneck for her next event. You change an outfit by changing up the accessories, right? So she has this gray turtleneck, she adds a gray Reese jacket, more pricey for $555, and then a pair of great aqua Talia boots, which are around $380. It's a very more kind of polished, streamlined look, an unexpected color combo, but I kind of like seeing these springy colors. It showed something new for, to try. Why not? Like, mix things up from your closet. She looked great. Maybe it's an unexpected color combo, but I think it looked awesome, and she was confident and happy wearing it. She looked amazing. She added some jewelry, some gold jewelry to dress it up a little bit from Catherine Zaraida. I loved the whole look.
Brittany, always great to have you here.
I
always learn so much.
Yeah,
chatting with you.
It's so much fun.
All these things on my shopping list.
Yes, and now we have to rewear all our dresses, just like Meghan and Kate.
Exactly, sustainable fashion.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. Now it's time for our social media minutes.
Thanks, Sharon. What a week full of great posts. Let's get Big Ben in here and start the clock. Last Thursday, the Clarence House Instagram page shared some behind-the-scenes moments from Prince Charles and Camilla's visit to the Tower of London. Last year marked 50 years since Charles received his Prince of Wales title, and they got to see the crown used during the ceremony back in 1969. They even included a throwback pic of the ceremony. And if you're a fan of the crown like me, that image should definitely be familiar.
And faith and truth I will bear unto thee, to live and die against all manner of folks.
Don't worry, that clip didn't count against my time. Last Friday, Princess Eugenie posted this flashback photo of her and husband Jack from 2010, the year they met. It was, of course, time for Valentine's Day, and she called it an oldie but a goodie. She might be a princess, but she's just like all of us when it comes to celebrating holidays on Instagram. Last Sunday, the royal family's page took us inside the historic wallpaper conservation work being done at Buckingham Palace. The fragile wallpaper inside the yellow drawing room, dating back to the early 19th century, was removed ahead of construction that will be done to update the building. How cool to see, right? And finally, this past Tuesday, the Kensington Royal Instagram page posted this video of Kate talking passionately about her new childhood development survey. The Duchess traveled around the UK to get a range of views about how to best help the youngest members of society. It's great to hear Kate speaking so personally about the cause. That's your social media minute for this week. Back to you, Sharon.
That was our social media correspondent, Gillian Fleischman. Great work as always. We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll take you inside one of Meghan Markle's favorite New York hotspots. Welcome back, everyone. Now, ever since Harry and Meghan announced they'd be stepping back from their royal duties and spending more time in North America, royal watchers have been speculating on where they might wind up. Vancouver, Los Angeles, Toronto, New York, all the above? Well, for those of you betting on the Big Apple, we are rolling out a brand new segment where we visit some of the Duchess's favorite spots right here in New York. Take a look. I am here with celebrity facialist Joanna Vargas at her beautiful New York City salon. Thank you so much for having us, Joanna.
Thank you for being here.
Now, Joanna's salon has become a big favorite amongst celebs like Elizabeth Moss, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Julianne Moore, and of course, Meghan Markle herself. In fact, the Duchess has even called the skincare oasis the best in the Big Apple. Quite the compliment right there. And you're actually revealing all your secrets to flawless skin in your new book, Glow From Within.
Yes, I really wanted to tell everybody you don't have to be a celebrity or have special DNA to be beautiful. Anybody could have great skin.
In the book, you talk about your signature facial, the Triple Crown facial. Sounds very regal. Tell us why this is a must-have for a big night out.
Well, I focus on this treatment in particular, pre-red carpet, because I don't use a lot of product, just some hand-picked products, and it leaves you really nice and glowy and ready for a great night out.
I'm so excited. I'm ready for the royal treatment.
Let's get going.
Let's do it.
So the first step of this facial is something called the diamond peel. The coarseness that you're going to feel in the tip of the wand is actually created by the diamonds, and that's going to help me slough off all the dead skin cells and get some of the pollution off of your face.
Wow, real diamonds.
Real diamonds.
Nice.
And it really prepares the skin to absorb all the products I'm going to be using during this treatment. This is my vitamin C face wash. It contains grapefruit and kojic acid for evening out the skin tone, and also something called galacto-arabinin. It's derived from the larch tree. It exfoliates you just as much as a glycolic acid, but it's also an anti-inflammatory, so safe for any skin type. So now I'm applying my green juice for the skin. It's called the Daily Serum. It contains chlorophyll and oatgrass juice, plus that galacto-arabinin ingredient that's exfoliating and calming. It's got a lot of greens in it, and they're in there to help oxygenate your skin. They encourage lymphatic drainage and really bring out that amazing glow that everybody wants to have. So the next step is going to be microcurrent. Microcurrent is a mild electric current that drains out excess water that hangs out in between the cells, not in the cells. It tightens the muscle, and it also tightens the skin. So it's kind of like going to the gym for the face.
Without all the work.
In less than 5 minutes, you could really see a huge difference in your skin. And that's really what people love. You don't have to be walking a real red carpet to have this treatment, and certainly if you do this on a regular basis, it will do wonders for the health of the skin.
That's amazing.
So the next step is oxygen. I'm using 98% pure oxygen infused with a serum that I make of green tea, vitamins, aloe, and hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times its weight in water, so it's a light formula, but super hydrates the skin. And then the oxygen stimulates collagen, it brings down inflammation, and you are gonna be glowing for miles. What I love about this treatment the most is that if you do it right and you're detail-oriented enough, it's like taking a little eraser to someone's face and just getting rid of all the fine lines. So the final step is going to be my rejuvenating serum.
What's in that?
Argan oil, neroli for your circulation, rose hips to protect you against sun damage, olive oil to soothe and make sure your skin stays disinflamed, and jojoba oil to balance out your own oil production in the skin.
Yeah, I could totally fall asleep like this.
All right, my love, you are all set.
Joanna, my skin feels amazing. I'm glowing right now.
You look amazing.
I'm ready for a red carpet, wherever it is. Thank you so much for giving me the royal treatment. I feel like a true princess right now.
It was my pleasure.
Speaking of, Meghan Markle called this place the best in the Big Apple, and I have to say, I agree.
Thank you.
I swear my skin was glowing for days after that shoot. It's time for another break, but we'll be right back with a lesson in royal history. Welcome back. Now it's time for great moments in royal history.
The angry whine of warplanes, ceaseless tattoo of death-dealing bombs, the air war at its long-dreaded peak.
On September 13th, 1940, World War II was well underway, and Germany's blitz on London had been going on for nearly a week. That day, around 11 a.m., a single German plane dropped 5 bombs over Buckingham Palace.
Historic landmarks are hit. Here is Buckingham Palace, hit by a time bomb.
The inner courtyard was hit twice, blowing out most of the southern and western side windows and rupturing a water main. The royal chapel was destroyed. 3 palace workers were injured. 1 was killed. The 14-year-old future queen, Princess Elizabeth, was safe with her sister Margaret at Windsor Castle, roughly 20 miles to the west. But King George VI and his wife, the Queen Mother Elizabeth, were both in residence at the palace. According to the Queen Mother, she was in the process of removing a lash from her husband's eye. She later described the event in a letter to her mother-in-law, Queen Mary. We heard the unmistakable whir of a German plane. We said, "Ah, a German." And before anything else could be said, there was a noise of an aircraft diving at great speed and then the scream of a bomb. It all happened so quickly that we only had time to look foolishly at each other when the scream hurtled past us and exploded with a tremendous crash in the quadrangle. Despite this close call and Germany's ongoing air blitz, which would continue for another 8 months, the King and Queen remained in Buckingham Palace. Their stiff upper lip and solidarity with their people turned the royal family into powerful symbols in the worldwide fight against fascism, especially the Queen Mother, who became quite popular after the British government suggested they flee the country for Canada, saying, "The children will not leave unless I do. I shall not leave unless their father does, and the king will not leave the country in any circumstances whatever."
Well, that's it for today's show. Next Tuesday, we'll be back in our normal studio, I promise. In the meantime, remember to follow People on Twitter to watch the latest episodes of The Royal Report, streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm Sharon Carpenter. Ta-ta. Till next time.